Alright, y'all, so I finally read Berserk. And yeah, man, let me just say, bro, this shit is my favorite manga of all time. Yep. Listen, bro, y'all really gotta read this shit. I'm telling y'all, bro, when I don't know why for the longest I put it on my back burner. I should have read this shit a long time ago, but I don't regret it reading it now just because I'm a little bit older. I feel like, you know, I can look at things a little bit more different. I can interpret things a little bit more different, you know, perspectives and shit like that. You know, when you get older, you know, you look at things a little bit more different. But now that I finally read it, bro, like I said, it is such an amazing story. And the fact that it's not finished yet, that's insane to me. Now, this video is going to be a little bit more all over the place because it's going to be like my first thoughts, initial thoughts, raw thoughts about what I think about Berserk overall. Because like I said, it did take me a week to finish it just because I didn't want to skim through it really fast. I really wanted to take my time. So I would get home from work, and especially at night, put some music on, and then I'll just read Berserk for like 2 to 3 hours. And I did that for a week, and now that I finally finished it, that shit has not been off my mind. And let me just say this before I get started with my ramble on Berserk. This dude Griffith, he gotta die, bro. He gotta fucking die. I gotta see this man die by the end of the series. He better have a gruesome death. He better have, his soul better be like tarnished, and it better be burning in hell for eternity. Because if this man survives, or not even survives, but if he has like some type of like little story arc where like people feel bad for him, redeeming himself, his qualities about everything he's done, nah. Can't have that shit. Nah. I cannot have that shit, bro. He better fucking die, bro. Because there has not been a fictional character that I hate so much until I met him. I met him. I really thought that though, because out of all the, like, bro, I thought Sukuna killing Gojo like would make me so angry. It kind of did, but at the same time, nah, bro. Griffith by far is the most hated character that I've ever read, bro. I thought I fucking hated that one character that fucking snots and shit like that. I hated him. Every time he was on screen, I fucking hated him. But yeah, I know that's such a strange comparison, right? But I fucking hated every time he was on screen. I hated him. But nah, bro, Griffith is a different type of hatred, bro. I hate that man with a passion. But I think because I hate him so much, also too, that's what makes him a great villain, because that's kind of what drives the story and Guts' revenge and stuff like that. And like I said, this story is technically about revenge, but it's not just that. Guts is such a very complex character and stuff like that. And really, what really got me into Berserk more than anything, besides like the clips, because I'll be honest, I've never seen the anime. I've seen clips here and there, but I have. Probably before reading Berserk, the only knowledge I had was Griffith was a bad person, and that he violated Casca in front of Guts, and that's the only thing I kind of knew. But now that I read Berserk and I find out what Griffith does besides that, and everything he continues doing after that eclipse, my hatred for Griffith only just goes even more and more. And like I said, what really hooked me on to this more is basically the introduction of the story, which is, I believe, called the swordsmith arc, some shit like that. It's the shortest arc of the entire series so far. It's basically, we're introduced to Guts, and there's like this guy who's like, he's like an asshole, kind of like edgelord, I guess you could say, which is, I understand, you know, it was my first time reading it, but I wasn't really like hooked onto it right away. So I'm like, you know, let me keep reading the first couple chapters. The artwork is a lot different than it is right now, but that's because, bro, this series is old as shit. But the fact that like the artwork still looks badass all the way up until, it just shows how good the author was and stuff like that. And rest in peace to my mans, because listen, bro, this shit is a masterpiece. But either way, like I said, the first arc really got me hooked onto Berserk and stuff like that. And really what did me, because I'm the type of person who likes dark things. I've always enjoyed it. For some reason, it's just fascinating to me, I guess you could say. But I remember seeing like certain sex scenes and stuff like that in the manga and shit like that. I'm just like, okay, this is definitely going to be something that's going to be a little bit out of my comfort zone, just because it's very gruesome and the author's not afraid to show you rather than you imagining things. Like, it shows you, and which is fine. I don't mind it, because he's basically showing us like what the story is really going to be about and stuff like that. And the more and more I read it, the more I started to find out, okay, so Griffith, which is Femto, Griffith decided to turn into a demon and shit like that. At that time, I'm like, okay, so basically him and Griffith and Guts were friends at some point, and then something happened with their relationship and stuff like that. You see Puck even question it and shit like that, and then you find out, like, you know, little by little things they're not explained to us fully, but they give us enough context to where like we're now questioning, okay, what really happened? I really want to know more about Griffith. I really want to know more about Guts. Why is Griffin femto? Like, why is he a demon? Like little things like that. You finally want to start adding little pieces to pieces. And the thing that really got me hooked onto is like, I think it was like the final chapter or like the final page or whatever of the chapter, where you see Guts walking away and he's kind of like crying, and you see Puck like just kind of like look at Guts like, huh, like what? Like that's really strange for him to do. And for me reading it, I'm like, okay, this is a tragic character, and I'm like, all right, yep, I'm hooked. I'm really hooked now. And the fact that like it delivered, bro, and bro, like it's one of those stories that like once you read it, it's really, really, really satisfying seeing Guts accomplish the things he's accomplished. But then at the same time, it's not because he hasn't accomplished, you know, his things that he really wants to do. And like I said, bro, the entire series and the entire manga series is really about Guts suffering and shit like that, him overcoming destiny, his fate and stuff like that. My man basically was born to die and rotten, but the fact that he's keep finding destiny and fate and all this shit, and like I just fucking love it. Kind of reminds me of Kratos from God of War, if y'all ever played the game and shit like that, to some degree. But this is on a much more deeper level and shit like that. But I fucking love Guts, bro. Listen, bro, I can see why so many people love this man as a character and have him up there in the protagonist, because my man goes through a lot, bro. And one of the things too that's really sad, besides the, you know, is him like after the Eclipse arc and whatever, you know, y'all. Oh, one thing I want to say about that too, it's a lot more gruesome in the manga than it is watching the anime version. Because when I was reading the manga, I'm not gonna show it on screen, but when I was reading the manga, it's one of those things like when I was reading, I'm like, damn, I had to squint my eye and I'm like, oh, this shit's so gruesome, bro. Like, I can't believe he did that shit to Guts in front of his face, watching him, and Guts had no choice but to watch. He loses his eye. And I remember watching, just seeing clips and stuff like that. I'm like, why did Guts lose his arm? But then I find out, like, you know, the monster, he had to cut off his arm and shit like that. And I'm just like, ah, shit, like damn, you know, like, it's so gruesome and stuff like that. And the fact that like he's just a human at the end of the day, it's not like he has no fucking special powers where he can summon Kamehameha or domain expansion, you know what I'm saying? Like he's literally just a human at the end of the day with such a strong body and just the will of the sword and shit like that. And it's just one of those, as the story goes on, you start to understand more about Guts' character and stuff like that, him overcoming his trials and tribulations. And really, bro, he's a man just destined to die, but he's overcoming all that. And I think that's what really I'm so fascinated by Guts, and I really like about him as a character, that like he's not gonna let nothing stop him from getting his revenge. And hopefully he gets his revenge, bro. I know I've seen stories where like revenge is never the best thing to do, but nah, fuck all that. My man's better kill Griffith, bro. At the end of the story, I better see Griffith die, and I really hope Guts gets a happy ending. Will he ever get a happy ending? I'm not 100% sure about. Hopefully he does, bro. Hopefully he does. And like I said, I'm caught up all the way right now in the manga, so I don't want to spoil it, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I've spoiled it here and there, but the fact that like where we at in the manga, where I left off, I left such in a cliffhanger to where I'm just like, I need more of it, bro. And like, and I feel so sad for Guts, because like Guts couldn't do anything to Griffith once he saw him, and I just, oh my god, bro, it's just one of those things like, bro, come on, bro, come on, bro. The authors, I know that the author passed away, but like the people who are working on Berserk and stuff like that, bro, y'all really need to listen, bro. Please, for the love of God, bro, please, just let my man's get his revenge. But yeah, man, this story is fucking amazing. And like I said, I'm not 100% sure how often the manga releases chapters and stuff like that, just because of the author's passing. So I don't know what the schedule's like. I don't know if it's monthly or every 3 months. I'm not 100% sure, but I will be there for every chapter from now on, because I am so invested into the story where I gotta get some merch, I gotta get some statues, I gotta get a Guts tattoo. I'm definitely getting a Guts tattoo by far, bro. I have to, bro. I have to. But yeah, man, this story, it's so good, bro. And it's one of those things where like once you're fully invested into the story, it's gonna be so hard not to get this shit off your mind for a good minute, bro, because I might have to reread it, or at least buy the volumes, because I read it online and everything. So yeah, man. But either way, bro, if you have not read it, please go watch it, bro. I mean, not watch it, you can if you want to, but go read it. It's a lot more enjoyable. It's definitely something that you're gonna be out of your comfort zone, especially if you read things like My Hero or Dragon Ball. It's definitely nothing like that. It's totally different, but you'll like it a lot. And yeah, bro, yeah.